your family's Durga Puja is the event in this city for Durga Puja, right? Like everybody comes and it becomes like the paps are there and everybody sees कौन किससे कैसे मिल रहा है क्या पहना हुआ है. It suddenly became a big event, like from a family function.
Yeah, I guess now that's the way things are. Everything is becoming that. And we are going with the flow. You know, as long as people get a
How did
chance
it
to come and
begin?
do darshan, it began.
Who started it?
So if you know S. Mukherjee, so S. Mukherjee's wife started it. So we are in our 79th year. This year is the 79th year.
In Mumbai?
Yes. 79th year we are like celebrating this year.
Okay. You never go to Calcutta for Durga Puja? It's
always this puja, right from our childhood.
Okay.
So we have memories. Like I have so many memories. Like my father and my mom were very, very involved in this Durga Puja. Getting the Durga Puja together. That time it used to be done in such a smaller scale where the evening entertainment programs used to be us only dancing to Rabindranath's Sangeet. And
You're an Odissi dancer,
yes,
right?
yes. And our aunts used to only choreograph the dances, and we used to be, all of us cousins used to be dancing. One night used to be some families coming together and doing a stage play. One evening used to be all of us cousins dancing to Rabindranath Sangeet. Then one day there used to be some singers used to just come and sing and go, because culturally evenings are always about cultural programs, and the day is the Devi Puja and the Bhog, and the Bhog is like how we invite people and we kind of serve and we do the Poribesh. Poribeshan is basically serving, and it's a very different feeling, because Devi ka puja jab hota hai, the shloks and the mantras are just so powerful. Then we have the Dhunochi Nach, and the Dhak. Every year there's a Dhaki who comes from Cal to play the Dhak in our puja. So yeah, we've kept the tradition going.
You speak Bengali?
Of course.
And your daughter, are you teaching her?
Daughter's little she understands. But of course, in my case, I think my mom only spoke, Bengali with us. Okay. So we had no choice. But Adira is born into a Punjabi Bengali family. So she has to balance both. Yeah.
I'm glad that you're teaching the language at least a little bit. That's happening. Speaking of your cousins with Kajol, you've acted in films with her. Was there competition ever between the two of you?
I think competition there never is when you are actually like, how to explain to you? When we do films, I think we are competing with ourselves. Because today, if you see a film of mine, you would always compare me to my last film.
Correct.
You will never compare me to a film that somebody else has done. So competition is always with your own craft, because you always want to better it. You don't want to ever come to a point where the audience says, yeah, she's not doing a good job today. In the earlier films, she was better. I would die if I would ever have to hear this. So I have to keep bettering my craft. I have to keep reinventing myself with each decade, with each year. I have to know what the audiences want. I want to know what the audiences feel. So that's very important for me. So I'm never competing with somebody else, because other actor's journey is very different from mine. The choice of films or the choice of things that another actor does is entirely what that other actor is doing. What I choose to do with my career is completely different. So there's never ever a competition as such amongst actors. This is something that is a very outside view that people feel that, two people are comparing, but
that's because kuch hota hai fed that, no?
Yeah, but it's but in reality it's never like that. Like when we do a film also together where there is an ensemble cast, I think the process of filmmaking is such that you're always trying to do the best job in that particular scene. Like in every shot also, if I have to micro see it, like, when you're performing a scene and you're doing that one shot, a director has to make sure that everybody is good in that one shot. That everybody has to deliver what they are supposed to deliver in that particular shot. And that becomes a scene, numerous shots make a scene, and everybody has to deliver their best. No director will want, okay, you do better and you do less. It's never like that. Everybody has to perform to their optimum, so even in an ensemble film, everybody is doing their best. Now when it reaches an audience, then an audience decide, okay, I like this one better, I like this one less, or I like this one more, I like this one less. So the competition is in their heads. But when we do a film, we are doing our best. We are trying to do our best. There is never a feeling that, Acha, I want to do better than that. No. We have to, like, if I'm playing a character, Devika has to be Devika in that particular shot. I can't be Rani in that shot. My co-actor has to be my husband who's playing my husband in that. He has to do his optimum as the husband. He can't fail. Because if he fails, my shot fails. That scene fails. And eventually it'll affect the film. So we all have to put in our best.
And you acted in so many of these ensemble films, right?
Yes,
Where there
that is why. Because
multi-
because for me, whether it's an ensemble or it's a film that's only like riding on my shoulders, I'm following the story. I'm following my character. I'm doing the best that I can do for my character.
And in all these films, outfits were so important. There was that period, I think, about 10 to 15 years where everybody was like, in a Manish Malhotra or in a Sabya, and it was like chakmak, and everything was so perfect from hair to top. Apologies to whoever's managing your team, but it was really like that.
No, but
ऊपर से नीचे तक सब
no,
कुछ
it's
छोड़ा
not
था.
that. I think the
And I
way
think
I
Karan
have
Johar is also like that.
no, I think the way I have, if you see my filmography, I've done a Heyram as well as I've done a Chalte Chalte. I've done a Yuva. I've also done a Black. I've also done Bunty Bubbly. I've also done Kabhi Alvida. And these are all happened like together. So I have always tried. I've done a Satya. I've done a Mujhse Dosti Karoge. So I've never, stopped myself from portraying roles and what the role demanded and what the director demanded out of that character. For me, I have to always make sure that I have to bring important female characters on the forefront. Indian characters, Indian women characters, and what they are doing and speaking to the nation. Because our films are viewed around the world. So at one point, people knew about Indian women through the roles that I did.
Yeah.
Okay, oh, Indian women are like this today. Oh, this is what Indian women are wearing. Oh, this is how Indian woman thinks. Oh, this is her growth. Oh, she is like okay with not marrying the person who she slept with. Things are changing in India.
Also
so through my
bubbly,
roles, coming from small town and, running after her dreams, wanting to achieve her dreams, so there are so
that
many
chota
things.
kurta, and it mattered.
So many things that I've done through my characters spoke so much about the Indian woman, an Indian girl, and I think for me that was most important. The costume was secondary, but the character, what the character spoke, what the character portrayed, what it spoke toward the new India or about new India at that point of time, for me that was important.
While you say that costume was not important, to me...
no, it was not the most important.
Second,
it came second.
secondary.
Yeah.
But for me, all your films, what you wear is also important, because as soon as you wear what you're wearing, somehow that...
defining.
Yeah, it's very defined. Like what you're talking about Satya, or you would about Bunty Bubbly, that, okay...
Also for that matter, Chalte Chalte, when I did the coal eyes, like the smoky eyes, that became like a norm. That everybody started doing smoky eyes.
Yeah. And that girl from a village is fashion conscious, is not just wearing lehenga, choli, matka on the head, pani lene ke liye.
Also with No One Killed Jessica, the way Meera Geti was, she was not like how in films they would show a regular journalist wearing a kurta and a jhola and jeans.
Yeah.
I wanted to change that. I wanted to show how well journalists are dressed, female journalists are dressed on television. And I was like, why isn't anybody seeing that? And that's what I portrayed in the film, that she's very unapologetic about who she is. She smokes. She can have a one-night stand. But yet, when it comes to her work, she's there. Focused. She's focused and she's doing, and her personal life has nothing to do with her professional life. So all those things were very important.
Which is like you.
Yes.
Your personal life is your personal, and your professional
Yes,
is your.
absolutely.
And you were talking
Absolutely.
about being married, and your husband having certain rules for himself, and somehow those rules also became for you because you understood those
I don't see them
rules
as
are way of
rules.
life.
I think that's way of life,
Yeah.
because rules, I think, suddenly goes into the periphery of somebody is setting the rules and you have to
Yeah.
follow.
Okay. That
So
sounds a little negative.
yeah,
Yeah.
no,
Okay.
not negative. I think that's not correct,
Okay.
so to put, because Adi as a person, he's very, I would say, independent, and he has a lot of respect for women, because that's how I think Yash Uncle and Pam Auntie brought him up. Because when you see Yash Uncle's films, there's a lot of importance given to female characters. There was
Yeah.
and Pam Auntie was a very important person in Yash Uncle's life through his professional and his personal. And I think Adi follows that because that's the role models that he saw while growing up, and the importance Yash Uncle gave Pam Auntie in his life. So the way he treats me in his life, there's a lot of respect. And it's not that he tells me that there's a certain thing you should do. It's my choice. In fact, he's the one who tells me, why don't you go out more often? And I'm like, no, I just want to be at home. And the whole encouragement that I got to do Hitchki was through my husband, because he saw me getting into the role of a mother too seriously. And he was like, you are Rani Mukherjee, you are answerable to your fans, you can't be doing this, you need to go back to the arc lights. And that's when I did Hitchki. So as a husband, I think he was the wind beneath my wings, to be able to tell me that go ahead and live your life. You can't um, you know just be at home and just following one role. You have other roles to also do.
Okay.
So I think that is very important, and that is what I try and keep talking in my interviews, that when husbands are listening, or they're seeing this interview, or families are seeing this interview, they should understand that every woman has the right to choose what she wants to do. If she chooses to be a housewife, great, because being a housewife is not easy.
Yeah.
The amount of work that entails in being a housewife is very difficult, and I know that because I am one myself. Then if she chooses to work being a housewife, I think people in the family should also come together and help. It cannot be just that the woman cooks in the morning, goes to do the work, comes back and again cooks. That's a lot. Taking care of the child also, taking care of the in-laws also, taking care of the home also. It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Or you either pay her, you know,
Yeah.
pay her for those activities that she does.
These issues are coming up for conversation because and Deepika Padukone had said that I want to work. That's what I believe. I mean, it's all reports. No, she hasn't spoken it, but I believe she said that I will only work X number of hours and X number of days because as a mom now I need that. And there are some who are saying that this is too much of cost because we put up sets and we put up, so it's not working. So can't work with her anymore. Now, these are all reported claims. Nobody knows exactly what went into it. But I'm guessing that when women are laying down these things that I can only work X number of hours, it's a new phenomenon. Pehle, women used to just keep waiting till the big stars, the heroes
Yeah,
like
to
say
just take you
Rajesh
back,
Khanna or
take you back to my time when I did Hitchki, because I did Hitchki when Adira was 14 months old, and I was still breastfeeding her. So I had to pump the milk and go in the morning, and I was shooting in a college in town. So from my house in the suburbs in Juhu to go to that place in traffic takes about 2 hours. So I kind of made it a thing where in the morning I would leave at 6:30 after expressing my milk, and I would shoot. My first shot used to be at 8 in the morning, and I used to wrap up everything by 12:31. And I have to say that my unit and my director, they were so planned that for those 6-7 hours I used to finish my shoot, and before the traffic would start in town, I used to be home by 3 o'clock. And I did my film like that. So these things are up in conversation today because maybe people are discussing it outside, but this has been a norm
Yeah.
with
With all professions.
With all professions,
done
where
it.
yeah, so I've also done it where I have worked certain hours, and if the producer is okay with it, you go ahead with the film. If the producer is not okay with it, you don't do the film. So it's also a choice. Nobody is forcing anything on anybody.
Are you comfortable working with banners which are not of your husband's?
Of course, I just did Mrs. Chatterjee with MA Films.
So when these offers come, do they feel hesitant that she may not accept it because she
No,
will,
I think
she's
I think what is important is that what is the kind of work you are finishing in those 6-7 hours. Like when I go on set and I finish 6-7 hours of work, that is the amount of work that was planned for the day. Sometimes you can work for 18 hours and you might not finish. So it's also the quality of work that you do in those number of hours. And of course, certain films require extra hours of work. But once you are planned, you can achieve whatever you want to achieve.
Namaste, Jai Hind. You're watching ANI podcast with Smita Prakash.
अगर हम उसको मस्जिद कहेंगे तो फिर विवाद होगा.
The issue is टूटा है क्या भारत?
400 पार का मतलब ये है कि संविधान खतरे में है.
क्या हम लोग ये निर्देश देते हैं कि फला को गिरफ्तार करके जेल डाल दें?
वही तो कह रहे हैं सब.
ये बेबुनियाद निराधार आरोप.
सच्चा सुनना चाहो देखो स्मिता प्रकाश ANI. It does not lie.